Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I want to take a look at the Royal Champion charge and when you guys can use it, how should you guys use it, and well, just smash some bases with it. So if you guys would like to support me and my channel, if you like my videos, you can do that really easily. Just get in your settings, in your more settings, and then at the bottom you can find the support a creator code, the creator boost code, and you have to type in over there iTzu. Like big or small letters, doesn't matter. You have to refresh that code every 7 days, and whenever you're buying something in-game, then you're supporting me. Thank you guys so much, but now let's get started with the attacks. And we are spinning right now, so we need to go into the Warlock. And then, let me check. This war, we were really close to a perfect war, and the guys had a couple of similar bases with sometimes the same style, but we want to talk about that a bit more in detail. So let's get started with number 21, where it is. There it is. And we're starting off with this base. So what is the thing about this base and why you should use the Royal Champion charge on this one? And I think it was Elliot who came up with this. So shout out to him. And the big and the nice thing about those bases are always their defensive streets, which basically means your Royal Champion has a path in the base. And for this, you have to actually mark all of the non-defensive building in the base to actually find those slots. Which means, for example, let's mark this part because over there are no defenses. Let's mark this part. Once again, no defenses. I don't know, like this part. And when you mark all of those things, then you can find like sometimes a street where the Royal Champion can actually follow the street and get a lot of value. But most of the time, when a base, the base is just really compact and there are no streets in there. But if you can find those streets, the Royal Champion charge is crazy strong. So let's take a look at what the street it is in this base. So we're starting off at the double cannon over here, and then the Royal Champion is slowly going into the base, following this defensive street. And because they're over here, there's like this small part where no defenses are. She will always follow the street and will never go anywhere else. One of the important things is you have to freeze air defenses in those charges, because the reason for that is that the range of the Royal Champion is really small, which means the air defenses can shoot your healers during the charge, which is never a good thing. But well, either way, the first rage is getting used. We already took out the Eagle right now, which is huge, and you can always decide what you want to go for the follow-up. We would take a look at a couple of different charges as well after this one, but sometimes, or most of the time, miners, Hawk Riders, some ground armies are the best thing to go for, because this means your healers are not wasted. For example, if my Royal Champion would die right now, this would mean that I would still have the healers to transition to my ground attack over, which means they would not been wasted. So that's super important actually, to make sure that you have the maximum value in your army. The next thing what I'm doing is creating the funnel for the miners, because after taking out all of this part, like all of this in the base, and now taking out this part, this means we have a really nice path once again for the miners, and this means they can push through the core, which means Hawk Riders are coming in from the siege barracks. The scatter shot is a little bit annoying for us, but either way, we can take out the Townhall really soon. We can use the Warden ability really soon to make sure that all of our miners are staying alive. The rage was sadly a little bit too late, which means the Royal Champion is going to die, which on this one we cannot swag and spell, otherwise we might have been able to swag a spell on this base. But either way, this should be an easy triple. Queen is still alive, is now getting killed by the enemy king. But this means the Townhall went down, which was the important thing about this. Using the last seal just to make sure that we're not running into any fails on this base. And this means this is going to be in triple. Like I said, if you can find the pathing of defenses where you can actually send in the Royal Champion, this is the point where this strategy is getting super strong, and even against max bases you can sometimes use it. But you have to find the right bases, and we're taking a look at a couple of two more common bases where ENG is showing how you can use this strategy with ease. And yeah, this base is completely wrecked. Like I said, we have so many miners alive. We sadly were not able to swag a spell because we missed the timing on the race spell. But either way, this was the first triple. Let's get into the next attack, which is going to be on number 17. And like I said, ENG is doing the next attack, and he's going to be like Royal Champion charge alone. Now that's too easy for me. Let's go with the 10 healers. And what he's doing, he's basically doing the same what I did, but he's adding up a queen charge to the party as well. Which means you can see it already. There's this defensive street over here, kinda, which means the Royal Champion will always follow this line. On the other side, we have kind of like a similar street, which means the Royal Champion could be used over here as well. But we have a couple of non-defensive buildings in here, which could mess up the pathing, especially if the Townhall is not activated. The Royal Champion would just skip that, and that's not a good sign. So what EFJack is doing is he's going to do the Royal Champion charge over here, and at the same time a queen charge over here, and then just for the back end a couple of Hawk Riders. And guys, take a look at, he's not bringing any heal spells. So let's take a look at how this is working. So first off, the queen and the siege barrack, the ram for the pathing, like to get into the first couple of walls. I think it would have been better if he would have used ice golem maybe in front of the ram, just to make sure that the ram is actually getting the 2 layers, because that's what I think what he wanted to get. Either way, he has a jump spell with him, which means it's not too bad. He can still reach the Townhall, but I think it would have been nice for him if you could have jumped 1 more layer. Either way, the next thing which is going to happen is he's starting off with his Royal Champion charge. At the meantime, he's funneling at the bottom with his king, which means all of his heroes are in action at the moment, which means most of his heroes, 3 out of 4 of his heroes are in action, which means the enemy eagle is getting activated kind of early, which is always not the best thing to happen. He has to freeze the enemy Inferno Towers because, I don't know, maybe the Royal Champion charge was a little bit too early, but either way, he's getting the value out of the way which he wants to get, so that's always a good thing. Queen is meanwhile taking care of the enemy CC, and this means he can jump her really soon further into the base. Jump spell is getting placed, otherwise the queen might walk. Royal Champion is taking out a couple of more defenses, but this means the healers are down, which means they won't transition over to the Hawk Riders, and that's what you normally try to go for, which means you want to still use the healers. And well, next thing which is going to happen is, well, queen is taking out the Townhall. I'm not really sure if he actually needed this queen ability, but either way, he's going for the safe option. And now the Hawk Riders are coming in, and like I said, he needs to use the Warden ability perfectly. What he's doing right now, he knows 100% how long the Warden actually takes, which means he's blocking the first couple of scatter shots, and he's blocking the damage of the bomb tower, which means the back end defenses are no problem for him. Really nicely done by EFJack, and this means the last couple of defenses are getting finished up by those Hawk Riders, and this means this is going to be another triple. Like I said, this is a pretty common base. Like, I think most of you guys should already see, like, I guess all of you guys already saw this base at some point. It's super popular, and, well, this is how you can triple this base pretty easily. Like I said, a couple of things which you can change, like the Royal Champion charge a bit later, and an Ice Golem in front of the Ram to make sure that the Ram is getting 2 layers instead of only 1. But either way, this is going to be the next triple. Nicely done by EFJack, and like I said, he did this a couple of times in this war, which means we take a look at another attack of him on number 37. Where it is, there it is, 37. EFJack once again, and you guys can see, once again, it's the same base, like the same base idea. This time he has the street of defenses at the bottom, and he can walk at the top once again with his queen. So let's get started with this one, and let us check out how he's starting this one. He's starting with the Slammer, I think, and this is basically only to create the funnel for his queen, because he cannot invest too much into the funnel. Troop-wise, he's just using the Slammer because the siege machine on this one is normally not getting used. Like, it's not too important. Like, it's pretty nice, but you can use it as a ram, as a funnel option with the Slammer. That's up to it. Sadly, the Inferno Tower is still standing, which is not the best thing for him to happen. But either way, it shouldn't be a big problem because the funnel is created. Like, this part around here where no buildings are, this is the important thing, because this means his queen will step to the Townhall and not to the defense over there. The next thing what he's going to do, as soon as the clan castle is lured and is getting killed from his own queen, he's starting off with the Royal Champion charge. He wants to delay the healers a little bit, based with the Ice Golem, to make sure that he's not needing an ice, like a free spell for the enemy air defense, because like I said, the air defense are outranging the healers, or like the siege, how do you say, the Royal Champion, which means the healers are getting killed if the Royal Champion is close to an air defense. This is always a little bit risky, but yeah, he was was good to go. Another freeze, another rage. I don't know if the freeze was needed, but this Royal Champion is going further into the base, taking out the most important defenses. And the next thing which is going to happen is that he's sending in his Hawk Riders next to the Queen to make sure that all of the rest of the base is getting taken out. Meanwhile, still the Royal Champion is alive, taking out defenses left and right. And now he's coming in with the Hawk Riders without any heal spells. That's crazy to me. So yeah, that's huge. And still, the Royal Champion is alive. Healers are getting killed, but this means the last couple of defenses are still getting taken down by the Royal Champion. Now the important thing is happening, which I was talking about. The healers are switching over, like with the Wizard Tower still being alive. This might have been tricky, but with the healers coming over, the ground troops are getting a little bit more of a boost. And now without the heal spell, like that's not too important anymore. So let's say this was really nicely done. Really nicely done, but Wave Check. And yeah, this is how you can do the Royal Champion charge. If you want to do it alone, like I did in the first attack, which is really good, but at the same time, this looks way more fun. So I have to try this as well really soon. And yeah, well done by Check. Nicely done. And guys, let me know what you think about this strategy. Let me know what you guys think. Hawk Riders without any heals. That's crazy. That's nuts. So guys, if you guys want to catch me live on Twitch, make sure to follow me over there. The link is down below in the description. I'm always streaming from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in English, always from 6 to 8 p.m. CET. Make sure to follow me over there to get all of the time when I'm going live. And I would say I will see you guys in the next video or in the next live stream. Until then, guys, see ya and bye-bye.